police and community relations have been a hot topic lately. Protests and riots after officer-involved shootings. Well, a big part of the conversation focusing on officer training. So the Now's Lauren Wilson did some digging today, and she found out that it actually takes more training to become a barber than it does a police officer.
Guys, there is more than 1,000-hour difference in every state I researched, Ohio having the largest gap of them all. So I spent some time with some of the new recruits from both the police academy and barber school just to see a little bit of what their experience is really like. And I was surprised at what I found. Both Orlando Thorne and Thomas Vidal and Gowan are halfway through their training.
It's difficult some days.
No, it's not easy. But that's the point.
The difference? Thomas will be done months before Orlando.
I mean, it's just more work than the scene. When I was a kid, I always thought it was just cut hair, get the money, keep it moving. But you know, you gotta put the work in.
Orlando is required to have 1,800 hours before being licensed to pick up his clippers, one of the steepest stipulations in the country.
Wow, the curriculum is very vast.
But for Thomas, he's only required to have 681 hours before he can pick up his gun and patrol.
My job is simple, is to work as hard as I can for as long as I can to get on a police department and be the best that I can be.
I've found in states like North Carolina, officers only need 620 hours, but barbers need more than 1,500. That holds true for other states like California, New York, and New Mexico.
There's no way to see who you are, to see who I am in a short period of time.
But Lieutenant Dillon with the Ohio State Highway Patrol tells me it's less about quantity and more about quality.
If you were to add up all the hours in those days they're here for approximately 5 months, it definitely exceeds those numbers of hours.
While I was visiting the Columbus training facility where the next generation of Cleveland police officers are studying right now, I experienced the rigor in just one day of training.
It's designed to be intense, very demanding. Everything they learn in class has a nexus to being a law enforcement officer.
But back at the barbershop, it was more about relationships, stressing the focus on handling things like race, religion, and ethnicity of their future potential customers.
It's about sociology, psychology, all of that. It's a lot of human interaction. So the more people you deal with, the better apt you are to deal with the public.
Admittedly, Lieutenant Dillon told me that was an aspect he knows could improve in their training.
Well, you can always make improvements. That, of course, is an emphasis here.
And yet, it's not absent, especially in recent years.
Diversity training has lasted a long time. All the instructors have found a way to incorporate that in almost everything that we're doing.
Keeping up with the current events when it comes to community policing, Thomas tells me for him, being an officer is all about being flexible and willing to change, even when it comes to having difficult conversations.
You can't strap in for the ride and change with the times. You're not going to make it.
Now, the Ohio Police Officer Training Commission reviews those hours required quarterly. I'm told there is talk of that 681 hours increasing sometime soon, but an exact date of when that will actually happen has yet to be announced. In Cleveland, for the Now, I'm Lauren Wilson.